Up. You also said yesterday the Green Bay Packers are worse off without Jair Alexander.
Sure did.
Alex Strofe running the show. KBN Nation at 800-990-3776. That is the Carbless talk and text line. This is more. You can see us on YouTube at ESPN Milwaukee and at ESPN Madison. As of course, now you can always listen on demand, stream on the ESPN Wisconsin app. Yesterday was an interesting day. We started our show with the news that allegedly Jair Alexander was going to be cut yesterday. By around 3 o'clock yesterday, he was cut by the Green Bay Packers. Leaves an interesting conversation for the defense. And to me, again, it leaves an interesting conversation of how good can this team be with the way the roster is constructed. Jair Alexander, I don't know if he would have played 8 games. I don't know if he would have played 17 games. And if you claim to know how many games he would have played, you would also be lying. But my attention still stays on the fact that I don't know how this team is making like leaps and bounds from year over year. It all goes back to Jordan Love again. And I think that's unfair to a quarterback that's in his 3rd year following 2 Hall of Famers. Because the defense, let's just have this conversation with each other real quick. The defensive line we've talked about. What did they do this offseason to get better? Anybody? Hand raised?
Spun the block?
Look at Brad, Kyle.
Spent the block twice like they ain't nowhere to park.
Wow,
the safety position, I think we all believe, is very strong. Mm-hmm. Evan Williams had a great year. Xavier McKinney, all-pro caliber player that they signed, and he over-exceeded expectations. Then we can say that Javon Bullard, who was signed as a safety, will play a little bit more in the slot. The linebacking core, Quay Walker, the amount of years that we've spunt the block, saying this is the year, this is the year.
All right, you guys are kind of using it weirdly now.
Yeah, well, you're the one who uses it correctly.
Yeah.
But Edgerrin Cooper is something that everyone can get excited about.
Spin the block with him for sure.
Yeah, all day long.
Oh, yeah.
He only played, how many games he played last year?
The idea that
8.
man played 8 games and 2 of them were NFC Players of the Week. Not NFC Rookie of the Week, NFC Players of the Week should get you excited. But I need more of those on defense to get me excited about the defense. So when I think about the defense, Jeff Hafley's got to be the guy to continue to cook up magic. But that's not a recipe you want to rely on if we're going to talk on Kyle Brusson-Nortman as this team should have Super Bowl aspirations. Is that fair?
That is fair.
Well, I mean, that's what Titletown is. That's what you go into every season as a Green Bay Packer fan. You yourself would say that's what you go into the season for.
I mean, I thought I did. I thought I had a lot of people on my side with that, but I guess yesterday, based off the calls and the text that we got in, that's up for question, up for debate, whether or not we really want titles in Titletown.
Well, and that's Goody's words himself at the end of last season. He said, it's about time we start competing for championships.
And so I just want to throw a question out there, and we're going to get to Bo Melton in a second here. But 800-990-3776, as said, the Carbless talk and text line. I find myself genuinely confused. Not everyone's saying it's a great move to not find a way to make it work with Jair. Whatever. That's no longer happening, or it's just not happening. He's cut. It's over. But I'm also seeing like a lot of belief. Like it's all good. It's all good. No less than 3 to 4 months ago, Keyshawn Nixon's talking about, I'm going to be cornerback 1. He's walked back those comments. He's a passionate player. Was frustrated about the loss in the playoffs. It is Keyshawn Nixon, it is Carrington Valentine, and it is Nate Hobbs. That doesn't feel great. That doesn't feel like you're taking a progressive step forward in that specific position group. And I'd love to hear from Brian Gutekunst because he did speak to the media today about the cornerback room without Jair Alexander.
Well, those guys got to come through, right? I mean, I think that's like every team. I mean, some guys don't even have two. You know, we got three really good starting corners that we really like quite a bit. So, again, I think we have more depth than most. But in those back, some of those guys are young guys that haven't played a lot of football. So, but that's usually the case. And I'm excited to see get those guys get the opportunities and see what they can do.
So that's the thing, as I said, it's usually the case, young guys it has been for the Green Bay Packers, but the Green Bay Packers have been to the playoffs 2 straight years, 9 games, 11 games. He's the one who's talking about championship and urgency. I'm not, he's saying we have 3 stars. I'm not buying what he's selling me about this room. I like Carrington Valentine. Keyshawn Nixon was good. He's been impressive from going to a kick returner to a guy that can play on the outside. But when you look at the freaking wide receivers that Brad listed off yesterday, or just the guys that you have to play twice in your division, how am I supposed to list those guys' names and hear Goody say they're quality starters and in the same sentence say they're young and they got to come through? How am I supposed to have confidence? I want to have confidence in this team heading into the season. I know this is one position group, but do we want to go to the defensive line that they didn't make any additions to outside the 7th round pick?
I mean, sounds like a sense of urgency to me.
So I don't know. I'm just posing the question. I'm just confused as to why everyone is so bullish about the defense. Is Jeff Hafley the answer?
Well, he's going to have to be nothing short of magical. Jeff Hafley, that is, because he's going to work with a fairly depleted cornerback room, which, let's be honest, right? In the NFL, you look for mismatches. If you're on the defense, if you're on the offense, you look for mismatches. It's no disrespect to Keyshawn Nixon, Nate Hobbs, and Carrington Valentine. I think they're good quality cornerbacks. Nobody's saying they're trash. However, those guys are probably cornerback 3s or cornerback 2s, generally speaking. They're going to be mismatched against a bunch of wide receiver 1s that offenses are going to look to exploit. Who's ever going to be on St. Brown and Jefferson and Chase and A.J. Brown and, just the list goes on and on. That's going to be a mismatch. And
you didn't even mention the 2s, Jordan Addison, T. Higgins, Jamison Williams, and Devonta Smith.
Yeah, I mean, you're exactly right. The list goes on. And that's a bad combination with a D-line that was spotlighted most of the season last year for a lack of pressure.
Outside of Tennessee and Seattle.
That's right. So a lack of consistent pressure with a cornerback room that lacks star power and is probably the caliber of cornerback 2s and 3s against good quarterbacks and wide receiver 1s is a recipe for disaster. And Jeff Hafley's going to have to find a way. He's going to have to find a way to be able to create pressure, do more with less. And I just look at this, and I just don't know how you can say a good Packer defense last year. They didn't take another step to be championship great. They're no better than they were last year. So they're either the same or worse because there was a level of superstar subtraction, even if Jair played half the games.
And if the same is what you're aiming for, then that means you're probably going to get the same results you got last year where the team was not good enough. So if the Packers, this is my issue, if the Packers are still the same or worse, then that means they're still not good enough.
Well, and Casey chimes in on the Carbless Talking text line. We welcome all feedback, as always, 800-990-3776. Call or text there. List is more. We had 2 great seasons missing Jair for more than half of them. That's how.
Oh, I'm glad you said that, Casey, because I'm not a numbers guy like Brad, but I do like some numbers. And when I think about we had great seasons, you're right, this team did find a way to win. But I did a little digging myself, and shout out to CBS Sports for coming up with some of these numbers. Do you realize in the last 2 seasons with Jair, the Green Bay Packers were 10-4, had a 64% completion rating against their corners, and then also had a passer rating allowed of 85.5. Now, 10-4 is a lot of winning. Do you know what their record was in 20 games without Jair? 500. They were 10-10, allowed 68% receiving and 95.4% passer rating against them. So what we're finding out is, yes, when Jair played, the team was better, and without Jair, the team defensively was a little bit mad. And then, again, I don't want to tear down CV and tear down Keyshawn Nixon, but I'm just going to bring the facts. And while Strofe yesterday talked about how Carrington Valentine only allowed 1 touchdown pass in his career on him in the regular season, he also allowed 76.7 completion percentage passing on him last year. That's not very good. He had a 78.9 passer rating against him. That's not very good. So when I look at this football team and I think about moving forward, we have to find guys that are ready to step up and guys that are ready to replace our boy Jair Alexander or former boy Jair Alexander. I like Keyshawn Nixon to be a number 2, as Brad talked about. Maybe even CV as the number 2. But you got to have a guy that can be a true number 1. And the Packers or Goody got caught with his pants down because he was not prepared for this. If he was going to prepare for Jair Alexander moving down, he definitely would have found somebody to replace him. I don't believe Nate Hobbs is the answer to replace Jair Alexander. And I think we're going to be having this conversation throughout the year talking about how the pass defense gave up this or they gave up that or something we've talked about so many times. They couldn't get off the field on 3rd down. That may be something that we may be repeating ourselves throughout this season.
K-Walk does chime in because I think this, just because you're talking about 2 position groups, and because I think they're tied together. Defensive line and those cornerbacks are tied together. The amount of pressure you can obviously get to the quarterback, the easier it is on the back end. You're not getting pressure, the harder it is for those guys that Kyle just mentioned. K-Walk chimes in. If we are the same or worse there, we will not come close to winning 11 games with a much harder schedule. But that's why I started this segment by saying it's about Jordan Love again. He, in 2023, was so damn good in those last 8 to 10 games. He put the team on his back with the touchdown passes, the way that he played, and obviously, I don't think he had a bad year last year, but it was injury-riddled. He never really found a true rhythm, but he's going to have to play at that franchise-level quarterback play, that top 10 quarterback play consistently over this next year if they're going to be a team that you're going to be excited about heading into the playoffs.
That's exactly right. Jordan Love and the offense is going to have to do more because all the people that are saying, well, hey, we did pretty good the last 2 years without Jair playing a lot of snaps. Guys, here are some of the quarterbacks the Packers have played the last couple of years, particularly last year. Anthony Richardson, Will Levis, Brandon Allen, Sam Howell, Spencer Rattler, Caleb Williams twice, Stafford without Kupp or Puka. And the year before, let's not forget.
I don't like that noise. I don't like that noise either.
The Vikings had Kirk Cousins injured. They're playing against Justin Fields as the Chicago Bears quarterback. The 2023 run of quarterbacks that they played against were not very good. So they haven't played the quarterbacks that they're going to be playing this year, which includes MVPs, which includes stud wide receiver ones, and top 10 quarterbacks across the board. So I just think you look at it and say, to prepare for that, if you're going to move on from Jair, you better draft a cornerback high. You better be active in free agency, not just Hobbs, because that's a big shoe to fill in Jair Alexander. And I'm concerned Goody didn't do enough to do that.
And so I will give Goody credit on this because y'all know I have a love-hate-love affair with Brian Gutekunst, the general manager.
Is it love-hate-love? I feel like it's love-hate,
Well, whatever it is, it's up and down. It's a roller coaster, which I do not like is roller coasters. I do give him credit for this.
I thought you liked drama in a relationship.
He doesn't like actual roller coasters. Remember his
yes,
fear of
true.
roller coasters?
But when I look at the offensive side of football, I'll give him credit that he did help build around Jordan Love. Now, it was through the draft with Matthew Golden, and then, of course, signing of Aaron Banks really solidified the offensive line, gave him additional weapons, and then you have Tucker Kraft and hopefully Luke Musgrave coming back to be healthy this year. So you have some offensive weapons around him, but you're going to put a lot of that burden, as you said, on Jordan Love. And the thing we talked about yesterday, and I'll bring it up again, I just overall am sick of seeing this football team have to put it all on the shoulders of their quarterback. Do you know how great it would be for us to have a defense that could complement an offense that's already is good? I have no doubts in my mind that this is going to be a really good offense, but now I'm doubting the fact of whether or not the defense is going to be able to make the stops that they need to make to get off the field, that they need to make to win football games. I question that now. We're going to see how everything plays out once it's there. But at the end of the day right now, nobody can walk into this season saying they feel confident about this defense taking a step in the right direction. There's not a lot of position groups or guys on that defense that gives you confidence that they are going to step up and be great next year.
800-990-3776. We'll keep taking your thoughts on the Carbless Talk and Text line.
Oh, and I would love to tell you a little bit about more Carbless and how you can enjoy it because I know I'm enjoying it. Summer is here. Look around. The sun is shining and an ice cold Carbless in your hands will make any summer experience that much better. It could be at American Family Field at the Brewer game. Could be bonfire at the lake. Could just be chilling and relaxing. I know for me, the Nortman fridge is full of Carbless because it hits those things that I need to see in my ready-to-drink cocktail. First of all, it's guilt-free. It's no carbs, no sugars, no gluten, less carbonation, just enough to quench that thirst, but not so much to make me feel bloated and full after. And not only that, there is no sacrifice when it comes to flavor. It is among the most flavor-balanced, beautiful tasting drink that I've ever had because they have something for everybody. And the new That's right, the new Tropical Bliss Variety Pack, it knocks it out of the park. It is summer in a can. Whenever I open it up, take a sip, I say, oh my goodness, Carb Bliss has done it again. Those flavors, as well as the mango 4-pack, the watermelon 4-pack. You got to try them, KBN Nation. That's the only way to do it. Carb Bliss, it's something you can only truly experience to appreciate. So if you've already tried it, grab yourself another. And if you haven't, now's the perfect time to do so, to experience why less is more with Carb Bliss.
Some more fun stuff happening at mandatory minicamps. If you've missed it, we got to fill you in.
Banger.
Coming up next on Kyle Brust-Nortman.
This is Kyle Brust-Nortman.
I was like, it's the 4-1-4 hour at 4.
I'm not gonna lie, I feel like the kid who got picked on the sports team. I was like, oh, you want me? No way.
On ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app. You remember the moments from that magical March.
Side Decker, it's a 3. Got it!
On June 26th, celebrate the squad with Made 'em Believe, a special night with Bo Ryan, Frank Kaminsky, and Sam Decker.
Here's Kaminsky, the drop stab, that's his favorite. And the 2.
Presented by Bud Light, Michelob Ultra, Potosi Varsity Ale, and Potosi Hard Seltzer. Tickets are on sale now at uwhoops2015.com. Made 'em Believe, June 26th at the Orpheum Theater in Madison.
Hey, this is Brad Nortman, here to tell you about my friends at Bank 5-9. Everywhere I go throughout the area, I see Bank 5-9, and it's no wonder why. Not only do they have 14 branch locations, but their employees spend nearly 9,000 hours each year volunteering in the communities that they serve. That's on top of the financial support that they provide to several hundred nonprofits right here in southeastern Wisconsin. If you're looking for a true local community bank, check them out today at bank59.com. Member FDIC.
Hey, it's Jason Wilde, and Father's Day is Sunday, June 15th. Get Dad something he can really enjoy. Kringle from Racine Danish Kringles. Order at kringle.com and send Dad his favorite flavor, like their bourbon pecan. That's my favorite. To complete the gift, you can add a bag of gourmet coffee to your order, and you will be Dad's favorite child. Go to kringle.com or call 800-4DANISH and have it shipped right to Dad. Kringle.com or 800-4DANISH. Racine Danish Kringles. It's not just a treat, it's a tradition.
Hi, I'm attorney David Gruber. After an accident, you need a trusted winning team on your side. For more than 30 years, Gruber Law Offices has helped Wisconsin families get the results they deserve. If you've been injured, call our firm today for a free consultation. We're available 24/7. Wisconsin's own Gruber Law Offices, proud partner of your Milwaukee Brewers. One call, that's all.
For over 50 years, Cousin Subs has celebrated and embraced the traditions of their home state of Wisconsin. And now, Cousins will be honoring a Wisconsin tradition like no other with their pull tab giveaway promo. Now through July 6th, while supplies last, guests will receive a Cousins pull tab with a sub or subinable purchase for a chance to win Cousins Subs for a year and much more. For additional info and official rules, visit cousinsubs.com/pull tabs. One pull tab per customer per transaction per day. To receive a pull tab with no purchase necessary, see official rules.
This is Kevin Moret from Mentality. Men, you're being robbed of your potential. Research shows a shocking 1% annual decline in testosterone levels. That's why building muscle feels impossible and your confidence is at an all-time low. But here's the truth. You're not alone in this uphill battle. Mentality's physician-directed, FDA-approved treatment doesn't just level the playing field, it restores your body's powerful balance. Our patients experience a documented 30% increase in their testosterone levels. Stop struggling and turn this around. Defy the odds and reclaim your masculine edge at mentalityhealth.com/radio.
This fall, build your perfect Wisconsin football game day with a mini pack. Pick any 3 games, including Big Ten matchups like Washington, Iowa, and Ohio State, and save while cheering on the Badgers. Big matchups, big moments, and it's all on your schedule. Football mini packs are available now. Create your custom game day experience today at uwbadgers.com or call 1-800-GO-BADGERS. First touchdown to the 5th quarter. There's always something to enjoy. Football game day starts here. We'll see you at Camp Randall.
ESPN Wisconsin's Mark Tauscher here with an offer for a bath or shower remodel from Kohler Services. Family owned for 150 years, Kohler is your Wisconsin manufacturer providing care for life. And this month only, get 0 interest financing for 12 months and a free shower door with your Lugstone shower remodel. Visit KohlerServicesWI.com to request your free quote with fast, professional installation always included. That's KohlerServicesWI.com.
You're listening to Kyle Brust-Nortman on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
got me brainwashed. He got me so lost. He got me fucked up like you.
Chef Ed's chiming in on the Carbless Talk and Text line. A note for you guys in all of KB Nation. You can compare me to two Hall of Fame QBs. Aaron Rodgers, because I love hearing my name and have people talk about me. And Tom Brady, the GOAT. From the grumpy old arrogant texter. Now you're cooking with Chef Ed.
Wow. Beautiful, Chef.
Good text by Chef Ed.
Good job.
I tasked him on having like a tagline, right? Now you're cooking with Chef Ed.
Which makes sense.
I like that.
I want to taste his food.
Wait a minute. You don't want to taste anyone's
You don't want to taste my food or Brad's food or Stroh's food.
He's a chef. He worked at. He act like he has conditions and standards that he has to cook to. I'm curious to taste his food.
And after hearing him on Are You Smarter Than Ben Brust, do you feel like he lives up to those standards?
He's a winner.
He did beat me last time. It is a Tuesday. I got to get my brain right for Are You Smarter Than Ben Brust? So I guess the second news of the day is, well, there's a lot of news. There's a lot of Giannis stuff going around. I would say even bigger news, Jacob Mizorowski is being brought up by the Milwaukee Brewers.
Brewers.
Strofe, you start it. Brewers! Now, Kyle always ruins it. No, Brad.
A brewer.
Yeah, thank you. Cut their mics when they try and do our thing, Strofe.
Don't be exclusive.
Paul chimes in. Paul from Milwaukee. Kyle and Brad need to chill. Jair hasn't played at a Pro Bowl level for a few years. His departure is a 3 out of 10 on the concern level meter. His career stats are not that impressive.
But that's just not true. Like, if you want to say he hasn't played, that's true. But when he does play, Pro Football Focus, I know I'm a Pro Football Focus guy, ranks him as the 9th best cornerback in the whole NFL.
I legitimately just told you the Packers are 10-4 when he didn't play a lot. I'm with you, but there's 6 games over 500 with him, and they're 500 without
completion percentage and passer rating are lower with him on the field than with him out.
Who cares? He doesn't play enough. I get it. But we got to talk about wins, the things that matters. But when you saw him on the field, your team won more than it didn't.
Nate Hobbs not practicing today. Kalen King, not practicing today. So, when you have a lot of wide receivers in the room, brother Max Melton is a cornerback. Bo Melton stepping up to the plate at OTAs, taking some reps at cornerback.
Hey, okay, Bo Melton. I mean,
why didn't you make a face?
So, just to be very correct, because Bo Melton is very athletic, and his brother plays corner for the Cardinals and is a good corner. What we're saying is because it's probably in his genes that his little brother can do it, that we're going to give him a try. Like, what we're giving? Why are we giving a receiver, converting him to cornerback? Why don't we just we just got rid of Jair Alexander? I thought we had enough guys in the room. Is it because we don't have enough bodies, or what is the reasoning for this? We can't get through mandatory OTA with being a body down.
And I will say, cornerback is among the hardest positions on the football field.
Oh, you think?
You're going backward. The one person knows what he's doing. You don't know what they're going to do.
The play's designed to beat you.
It's very, very hard to be a cornerback. So the idea that you can just put anybody in at cornerback, including Bo Melton.
Whoa, let's slow down here because the Packers offense took the loss today at mandatory minicamps, and Bo Melton was on the defensive side of the football today. Coincidence?
Put him in there.
Hey,
who needs Jair? Put him in there.
Listen.
Put him on Justin Jefferson.
If this is
do you have the quote on the floor? What was that, Alex Stroh? Oh, we have audio of it already? Oh I'm going to send this over to you because I did not hear it yet.
I would say a little.
I need to set it up.
Sounds good. When asked why Bo Melton was playing cornerback today,
it was phrased by Rob Domofsky, and you can't hear him in the clip, so I need to set it up. It was, is it out of necessity or curiosity? Was the way.
What a question.
Which is a terrific question by Rob. This was Matt LaFleur's too. Bo Melton playing corner, is that out of curiosity or necessity?
I would say a little bit of both. Obviously he's a real talented player. and is produced. And I just love everything about the guy, how he shows up every day ready to compete and give his best effort. Matter of fact, I showed some clips of him in the team meeting this morning, just of what he does. And you can always expect a lot of great things when he's, whatever it is he's doing. So he was, he was obviously one day just talking about how he's better than his brother. So we said, okay, go prove it. But I'm just kidding. He didn't say that.
Okay.
But his brother's pretty good player as well.
LaFleur got you.
And,
I was going
I
B.
just thought that if there is somebody that could potentially do both, he would be that guy. And I think a lot of it is just from his production on teams and just his ability to go out there and make play on teams.
I actually have an idea because of this.
What is that, Brad?
We're wondering, how can we get Jordan Morgan reps? He's quick. He's good with his feet. He's good with his hands. Maybe.
Big guy.
Maybe we just put him on D-line and just see what happens.
Man, that's a great idea.
What do you say?
We might as well try it.
He's buried in the depth chart, and the D-line needs help.
Bring back two-way players.
Two-way players.
Bring back two-way players.
Travis Hunter, Bo Melton, Jordan Morgan.
Oh, my gosh. That's great. That's great. It's great that the 53rd man on the dang roster, we doing all this to see if we can have a spot for him.
Brad, you've gone too far.
No, he hasn't gone. No, the Packers have gone too far.
This is ridiculous. This is the NFL.
Brad, I have an idea. Who needs kickers? Punters can kick.
Exactly.
Might as
Just
well.
do it.
Daria Gumbawale kick.
Great point.
Kicker.
Great point.
Just do it.
I mean, it was on Jim Matt and Molly last week.
Yeah. And you're going to
get
the same result. It looks like a baby giraffe back there playing cornerback. That's what it looks like. It is a hard position. Yeah. The clips of Bo Melton trying to take indie drills.
He looks great.
No,
he
hell,
doesn't.
No, you a lie. You a lie.
He doesn't.
You do see he is a wide receiver.
He is an athlete. He's an NFL player. He's great on special teams, and he's a good receiver.
Oh, my gosh. You guys are suckers. You fell for LaFleur on the clip. Strope's trying to say he looked great just to get. You guys are suckers.
You're misleading KBN Nation.
You guys are suckers.
I'm sorry. I'm in the sensitive.
Can I be honest?
It's a shocking move.
I kind of love it.
It's a shocking
Of
move.
course you do.
Well, hold on. Can I explain why I love it?
Yeah, but of course you
it's
do.
To Kyle's point, right? Like, this is a guy who's probably at best the sixth, if Watson was healthy, sixth or seventh receiver on the roster.
He's probably not going to make the roster.
Correct. So rather than wasting everyone's time by having him be with the thirds or the fourths at wide receiver, why not see if he can contribute elsewhere? I don't hate that.
Because that's embarrassing.
No,
there's a pool of actual cornerbacks. You're throwing guys all over the field, and it looks ridiculous.
Terrell Pryor was a guy that played all over the field.
Terrell Pryor, elite athlete.
Who said Bo Melton isn't a good elite athlete?
If he was so elite, he wouldn't be number 6'7" on the wide receivers.
He's one of the fastest receivers they have.
Oh,
and they still couldn't find a way to consistently have
Remember the Bo
be a wide
Melton game
receiver.
against the
I do.
Vikings?
Yeah,
I was at Brad Norman's house for that game.
We were excited about that.
Bo
Watch that game with Brad Norman.
But this is where my issue comes. And again, I don't want to keep ragging on Goody, but he talked about the fact that we need to have a sense of urgency, right? And you need to be strategic in this league. If you were going to try Bo Melton at cornerback, Bo Melton probably should have had some type of heads up going into the offseason, so at least he can practice, he can train for that. From what I saw on the field today, it looked like this was an experiment that they were doing. And yes, it's mandatory OTA. You're still an offseason, you can experiment, but why not put a guy who you believe is a good enough athlete who could potentially make that transition? Why not give him time in the offseason to prepare for that transition? Elton Jenkins knew early in the offseason that he was going to be moving to center, so I'm sure that's a different way than how he mentally prepares for a ball game. So why not give Bo Melton the best opportunity to make this football team, but more importantly for us as fans, make an impact on the football team by giving him time to prepare for the position? If you watch him do DB drills today, he is a receiver, and he couldn't catch the football because he was feeling awkward in the position because he hadn't been preparing for it. So all I'm saying is you can't talk about sense of urgency and wanting to win championships and then not telling a guy, hey, we may move you over here. Why don't you get practice for it so he can actually give you his best shot to maybe make this football team better?
Well, Joe in the Boonies brings up a good point. Imagine how diabolical it would be if we had a corner wearing 80 and a wide receiver wearing 22.
That's good.
It would be anarchy.
That's good.
That is really good from Joe in the Boonies on the Carbless Talk and text line. Let's get to Packer Hall of Famer Mark Tauscher. I'd love to hear his reaction to Kyle and Brad being very, very upset with the cornerback room.
I'm sure Tausch. I love me some Tausch, but Tausch is usually he's the biggest cheerleader in the NFL.
He's a good stan.
Good stan he is. Mark Tauscher joins us next.
This is Kyle Bruston Nortman.
The comments were so mean, but they also were kind of funny.
Wait, I didn't see the comments.
They said popcorn back in middle school must have been tough.
Please don't pick me.
On ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
My house has a new glow. I love my windows. Universal Windows Direct.
Hey, it's Kyle Walsh, and right now UWD is running their home improvement season sale. Payments as low as $99 a month or no payments and no interest for an entire year. Call 414-410-2000 or go to universalwindowsdirect.com.
I love my windows. They've got that brand new home effect. Universal Windows Direct.
At Citizens Bank, community banking is you, growing your business with a partner who gets it. It's you, buying your first home with a lender who makes it easy. It's you, building a future with savings that work just as hard as you. And it's us, working together to strengthen our community. Because at Citizens Bank, community banking means you plus us. Visit us at citizensbankwi.bank. Citizens Bank is member FDIC and an equal housing lender.
The big gig is back, starting June 19th. 9 days, hundreds of musical acts. Summerfest in Milwaukee is the event of the summer. Plus, tune into 94.5 ESPN all 3 weekends for Summerfest Saturday. Enter for your chance to win tickets to the ESPN Wisconsin app or visit summerfest.com. We'll see you out there.
It's a home run! But wait, is your roof ready for the big league storms? If your roof has more holes than a catcher's mitt, it's time to bring in the pros. At Avondale Roofing, we've been handling leaks, repairs, and full replacements with major league precision for over 30 years. And as a GAF Master Elite certified contractor, we bring top-tier quality and proven performance to every job. Whether it's a quick patch-up or full upgrade, our team steps up to the plate and knocks it out of the park every time. You're out! Don't wait till water's in your dugout. Call Avondale Roofing today and keep your home in the win column.
This is Kyle Bruston Nortman's Brad Nortman. You hear me talk about Carbless and their refreshing flavors all the time. One of my favorites is watermelon, and Carbless just dropped the Watermelon Vodka Cocktail 4-pack. Perfect for chilling, grilling, or game day thrills. You know the drill. Zero sugar, unlimited flavor. Enjoy clean, crisp refreshment without the guilt. That's what Carbless does. Find the new Watermelon 4-packs wherever you get your Carbless. Crack open the taste of summer and get your bliss on.
Hey there, Brewers fans. We've got a new way for you to watch the Brew Crew this season. FanDuel Sports Network. And now there are more ways to watch the Brewers than ever before. Subscribe directly to FanDuel Sports Network to stream all the action. Or, new this season, Brewers Baseball is now available on Amazon Prime Video as an add-on subscription. You can also access FanDuel Sports Network through TV providers, including DirecTV, Spectrum, Xfinity, Fubo, and more. Visit GetMyHomeTeams.com to learn more.
At Potawatomi, where ways to win are endless, another chance to capture epic cash and prizes comes Friday, June 27th. It's the season finale blockbuster drawings. Watch your entries from Enchanted Spins, Unreal Treasures, and Boundless Bounty come together for drawings where $300,000 in cash and prizes is there for the taking. Be there to win your share. June 27th only at Potawatomi Casino Hotel, Milwaukee. More info online. Must be 21 years old to play.
Dr. Aaron Holtebeck and his team at Holtebeck Eye Center make vision care a top priority. They are your premium provider for eye care and corrective eye surgeries. Dr. Holtebeck has been helping local patients with their eye care needs for over 20 years. Dr. Nausheen Abbas joined the Holtebeck Eye Center team last September, and her practice philosophy is to provide patient-centered medicine by giving all options. Located in Brookfield near the corner of Calhoun and Capitol. Learn more about their services at holtebeck.com.
You're listening to Kyle Bruston Nortman on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
I'm not going to sit here and panic about it.
Green and Gold Hall of Famer.
It's not apples to apples. For you, it is.
Solving the world's problems one day at a time.
Everybody doesn't grow and evolve at the same time.
It's Mark Tauscher.
Did you guys hang up on me, or am I hanging up
on Kyle Brust and Nortman.
Feel the rain on your skin. No one else can feel it for you. Only you can.
Joining us here on Kyle Brust and Nortman across ESPN Wisconsin is the Packers Hall of Famer Mark Tauscher. Listen to Tausch Old T. I'm Wildy and Tausch 9 to noon across these very stations. Tausch, what's going on?
How are you boys today?
Doing fantastic. A interesting day watching Bo Melton take some reps at cornerback. Jair Alexander officially cut yesterday from the Green Bay Packers organization. What did you make of the length of time that it led to this scenario?
Well, there was never a deadline. And I think we, initially when you heard Goody talk after the season, you kind of had a sense that this thing was over. And for as much as all these other reports, Peter Schrager was out to dinner with Matt LaFleur, and he said, I don't know, and all these other things. It comes down to, does Brian Gutekunst want to have Jair Alexander back? And then if he did, would Jair be willing to take any type of a pay cut? And as we found out today after their minicamp, that was never really in place. So there's a lot of conjecture. There's a lot of thoughts. I think a lot of us wanted to see Jair back because we think he's a good player. But the bottom line is his salary never matched up to the fact that he couldn't stay on the field. And that, I think, was just kind of ringing through all off season. That was always kind of the most likely outcome. And we just, as things continued on, because there was no money owed until Jair was going to force the hand, whether coming up to minicamp and doing that, there was no deadline. And when there's no deadline, things can kind of linger. And that's, I think, what happened.
Tausch, I did want to give you some information because it just came out 2 minutes ago. Aaron Rodgers has confirmed that a wedding ring has been on his finger, and he is married and has been married a couple of months.
Oh, wow.
Any words of advice to your former quarterback?
No, man, he's going to be just fine. He's that's awesome for him and whoever his bride is. Yeah, I don't have any advice.
You should always give advice to people who are newlyweds. Like, I'm sure you have advice for Ben as he's about to go on the same journey that Aaron Rodgers is going.
Listen, man, everybody's path is different. Just, you know what? Do your best. That's my only piece of advice.
Congrats,
do your best.
Congrats to Aaron and Brittany with an I. Good for them.
Brittany with an I.
Brittany with an I, yeah.
Making him an honest man.
Brittany's with the Y's are a little crazier usually.
Oh, wow. Paint that broad
Is that right?
stroke.
You've had some Brittany's with Y's in your life?
She is, yeah. Actually, I have a really great friend with his Brittany with a Y. I probably should have said that. Sorry, Brittany.
Like one of your best friends.
Yeah. Sorry, Brittany.
Tausch, in this whole context of Jair being released, now that it has come to fruition that he's gone, do you think Goody did enough to prepare this cornerback room for his departure?
Yes.
Really?
I saw this. I saw what you guys said yesterday. It's all over social media. You guys went viral. I don't know if you went. What is viral? You got to get to like 1 million views, or what is the click rate you need to be viral? But you and Kyle, I think, both kind of said Goody didn't do anything enough to. He's not chasing a championship, and I don't remember exactly what you all said, but what were you guys looking for from him? You knew Jair wasn't. You went out and signed a corner to a second or third kind of tier
injured corner,
contract.
Often injured corner, just like the guy.
Well, I don't know. I mean, is he more often injured than Jair Alexander? You guys were all basically writing the season off yesterday because Jair didn't get this.
Well, we wouldn't go that far, but
am I misconstruing what you said?
This is a room full of cornerback 2s and 3s that are facing legit wide receiver 1s all season.
Let me ask you this again, and I fell into this trap, and I definitely. I didn't look at probably the high-tier games, the Minnesotas and the Detroits, but I still have to look at what we saw without Jair Alexander.
What did you see without him? What did you see?
What did I see? What did I see last year without him?
In the last two seasons.
I saw the world champion team struggle immensely on offense, is what I saw at their place. And yes, there's reasons for that. It's not all one way or the other, but I just to act as if we don't have, defensively, and Goody left this thing just completely bare. I don't see it that way, and I don't see it like Goody's not chasing a championship because he didn't bring a guy back that was not going to come back on that salary. I see it a lot differently than you guys do.
Yeah, which is okay. Statistically speaking, though, the Packers in the last 2 seasons without Jair Alexander are 10-10. They have
Who cares about 2 seasons? Who cares about 2 seasons ago, man? What did we do last year?
No, the last two seasons.
The last 2 seasons, they were 10-10, and then they had a lot of completion percentage of 68% and a passer rating of 95.4 with Jair Alexander.
How did we do last year? How did we do last year?
Tausch, it's not like we played the murderer's row of quarterbacks last year. We played Richardson, Levis.
Guys.
We played a bunch of backup quarterbacks all year.
Tausch, the bottom line.
You can spin things however you want. I mean, you can look back. How'd they do in '96? I mean, that was the last time you had a third-year quarterback. I mean, there's all kinds of stats that you can find and dig up.
Tausch, the bottom line is this. You and I both know, everybody who is a Packers fan and supports the Packers or covers the Packers knows that the defense still has a lot of question marks on it. And so the fact that when I look at the defensive side of the football, we have a cornerback position where we have a lot of question marks. We don't know what to expect from them. We have a defensive line that we're still talking about in year, whatever it is, year 3 for Lucas Van Ness. What is he going to do? Devontae Wyatt, what is he going to do? Quay Walker, what is he going to do? Like, we're still asking what these guys are going to do. When you move on from Jair, which we knew was potentially going to happen, and you don't see anybody coming in to replace him because I don't think Nate Hobbs is a good enough replacement, we all feel like the defense could be the Achilles heel that is going to cause this Packers team not to get to where they want to be in championship level. You and I both know this is not a championship caliber defense.
Well, last year I thought, again, we got beat, no question about it, but that defense last year was good enough. You know who else thought that? And where did the Packers spend their resources this year? With free agency in the draft. A vast majority. Obviously, they did on both. But it was more on offense. So maybe the guys that are up there studying this and understanding where this league is and where this team was, maybe they feel differently than you guys. And you guys might end up being right. This team might end up not being championship caliber and maybe not. I'm not putting words in your mouth. I don't know where you guys feel this team is going to be, but they've obviously felt like they needed to address the offensive line and they needed to address the offense being better, more consistent, and trying to make sure that Jordan Love has everything he needs to be the quarterback that we all hope he can be. So, yeah, maybe the defense is going to be a little bit weak in the second. And for sure, depth-wise, you can never have enough good corners.
Well, they got Bo Melton now.
Is there a shutdown corner on this team? No, there's not. Would it be great if we had Surtain from Denver? Yeah, that'd be great. That's not where we're at. But does that mean this defense, which I think was a lot better last year, and I think the anticipation another year under Jeff Hafley with hopefully a better pass rush, it will all play itself out, and maybe you guys will be right, and Goody was negligent on everything that he did, but I would think that I'm hoping that that's not the case, and I know hope isn't a strategy, but anyone that thought, to react to Jair not being back was like some death knell to this defense, they knew the entire offseason that they weren't, and this is the path they went to make this team better. Whether or not it's going to be better, we'll find out probably pretty early in this season if that is the case.
Do you think it's better? Like right now, before finding out, when you look at it on paper, do you think this team defensively got better by letting
I think they're going to be I'll say this. I think they're going to be a lot better than they were last year at this time because Evan Williams, Edgerrin Cooper, some of the guys that Goody picked up, I think are going to elevate their game.
Okay.
Now, I can't sit here and tell you that this pass rush is going to be markedly, but I don't know. Rashawn Gary, he is who he is at this point in his career. Devontae Wyatt was dinged up. Kenny Clark busted his toe up and wasn't as effective as we'd like to see. I think Lucas Van Ness needs to make a big jump. But to say, well, is this defense better than it was last year? I would think with another year of experience and understanding and these first-year players getting a lot better, that's the thing, and we get in these arguments all the time, especially, you guys aren't as group thinky now since I called. Ben just doesn't talk. But this whole concept of this, you need to bring in like an older veteran player to make your defense a lot better. You need to get your guys, you need to improve from year 1 to year 2 and year 2 to year 3 when you have a roster like this. And if they don't, they're not going to be better. And if they do, they're going to be a lot better. And I guess we'll just all find out together.
Packers Hall of Famer Mark Tauscher here joining us on Kyle Brust-Nortman across ESPN.
What did I miss? Why was that laugh? I'm not on video.
Ben doesn't talk anymore. That was just kind of a nice. Nice...
You've been ever since we group think. I appreciate you letting Nordy getting after it a little bit, and Kyle. I like their passion, but do you agree with those guys, or where are you at on that?
I had said as they went into
There's a little
their
group think going on there. I'm not going to disagree.
We'll let Jason go. As they talked about Jair, my whole thing is I don't feel like what Goody has been selling me about the championship and urgency is lining up with actions. Now, like you just said, I could be wrong. The way he's building the team could be more beneficial because if Jordan Love, I think this all now go like it always has been. It all is going to come back to, is Jordan Love going to be able to be a $55 million quarterback that is top 10?
But Benny, that's not even what you're talking about. You're talking about the defense. You guys are just saying it's not championship caliber. Nothing to do with Jordan Love.
Everything has to do with Jordan Love if you don't believe the defense is championship caliber. He's going to have to carry this team just like he did in 2023. He's going to have to play at a high level. It's going to come back to this offense clicking because the offensive side of the football is where I have most confidence. I don't believe in Carrington Valentine and Keyshawn Nixon and Nate Hobbs to be a great group to go against the 3 NFC opponents that they go against, number 1s and 2s, going against Higgins and Chase, going against there was another one that you mentioned, Bradley, earlier, that I was like, oh damn, that's another one where it's got a 1 and a 2 outside of the division.
Dallas Cowboys, CD Lamb,
Eagles. The Eagles, another one Brown where you got Devonta Smith and AJ Brown. But that's just one side of the football. The thing that worries me is you have a defensive line that you didn't really invest in. You're rolling it back. You have a cornerback room. You want one of those to be really good. If you don't have a good offensive line, you got to make the guys work on the back end just as hard. Not great. So my attention in terms of how does this offense take the next step? And it all comes back to Jordan Love for me because I'm not a huge believer in the pieces in the defense outside of the safeties and Edger and Cooper.
Well, that's up to you to have that decision. Obviously, Jordan needs to be more consistent than what he did, but they felt like offensive line needed to be upgraded. Did they do enough? We'll see about that too. That's where Goody put his resources, and then to say that they didn't, and you could say, well, Nate Hobbs, he's not any good. We don't know. Like, he was injured a little bit last year too. Obviously, Jason watched film and raved about how physical he is.
Physicality, yes.
That's obviously a plus. But yeah, I mean, and I know, well, Bo Melton going over to DB. Bo Melton could be one of those guys. Hopefully. I don't think we're looking for him to be.
You keep using the hopefully word, Tausch, and it doesn't give me confidence in the defense, and I think that's fair to not have a ton of confidence.
Benny, don't have confidence. It's great, you guys. That's where when you put your clip out yesterday that this team is not, that Goody's not serious about chasing championships. I think that's all he thinks about. Other
no
than
way.
Family.
But no way.
No way.
Tausch,
No way.
Nobody's saying that Hobbs stinks. Nobody's saying that Valentine stinks. Like it's a team full of a lot of. No, he's just saying he doesn't have a lot of confidence in them.
I just said I don't have a lot of confidence.
What does that mean?
Particularly against elite players. Don't you think you need greatness to be a Super Bowl contending team? It's just a lot of good on the Green Bay Packers.
Well, I think Edgerrin Cooper's got a chance to be great.
I just said that, Tom. I literally just said that. And you go away from what Brad had said because you know where there's a little bit of validity of what we're saying about the defense. And you just keep saying hopefully.
If you would let me finish. If you want to do the segment by yourself, go for it. I'm fine. I can go.
I mean, you didn't give Kyle a chance to actually read his stats because you didn't want to hear him.
Valentine, I think, can be a really good player. Just because he's a 7th-round pick doesn't mean he can't be an elite player. Again, and this is where it's like I'm pounding my head against a brick wall. You guys all want everything right now. You want everybody to be studs when they're first-year players, and it's just not how it works. So, yes, it would have been great to go out and get Surtain from Denver and give up 10 first-round picks. That all would be great.
Here we go.
But you have to let players develop. When you don't let that happen, you guys just aren't interested in that, and you're going to say, well, Goody doesn't want to win a championship. Of course he does. Now, if you wanted to make an argument, and this was what was eye-opening to me yesterday, is the amount of salary cap space and how that relates to urgency. That's a conversation I'm really open to having. But outside of that, it's like you guys, this ain't better because you didn't sign this guy. You didn't do this. Well, yeah, there's only so much stuff you can do. And if you think Goody didn't do enough, you might be right. You might be, but you also might not be.
That's correct.
To act like he isn't chasing a championship and he's fine just being okay,
No, he's fine with sustainability. He's fine with this team being relevant and taking cracks at it. That's what it is. But when teams want to win championships, they swing for the fences. Granted, it doesn't happen every year, but the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, when they won a championship, they did what they could. When the Denver Broncos, when they wanted to win a championship with Peyton Manning, they swung for the fences. The Los Angeles Rams, they messed up their salary cap, but what did they do? They won a championship. So at what point, the Green Bay Packers have not won a championship in 15 seasons. So at what point are we finally going to say, let's capitalize on the quarterback and the talent that we have and surround them around a team that gives them the best chance to win a championship? That's
with all that salary cap available.
Yeah, that's all. At what point are we finally going to go for the title? Not sit here and say, let's see what happens and talk about, you got to wait for guys to develop. Okay, cool. But
what do you want to do? Kyle, what are you doing if you're Goody? What are you going to go do?
I mean, at this point, based off the salary cap, maybe you do make a phone call about Hendrickson. I mean, again, the offseason is basically over. Some guys may get cut. You may be able to find somebody. But at this point, now I'm focused on what can we do in 2025 to be successful. But in 2026, with all this boatload of money that you have that you got to sign some of your guys with, at some point you're going to have to look at this roster and say, where are our holes and how can we fill them with really good guys like we did with Xavier McKinney and what we did with Josh Jacobs? We just need more of those guys. We don't have enough dudes on the defensive side of football or offensive side of football for us to compete with championships. You are blind and you're crazy, and I'm a crazy person, if you think the Green Bay Packers can hang with the Buffalo Bills or the Green Bay Packers can hang with the Baltimore Ravens, or if you think the Green Bay Packers can right now hang with the Philadelphia Eagles or the Detroit Lions who lost their offensive defensive coordinator. We all know that the Green Bay Packers at this point in time, the way that offense and defense is put together, we are not in the same class as those teams. And that's where I'm disappointed.
Well, we lost last year, no doubt about it, and I think we had many opportunities. We don't turn the ball over 4 times to beat Philly last year.
We're 0-6 against good teams last year. Like, what are we doing? Like, all the good teams we play, like, we're 0-6.
You know what? Mail it in. It's over. You guys might be right. Goody doesn't want to win.
Thank you,
and it's over.
Waiting for it.
If that's what you guys want to do, that's fine. You guys have every right to do it. I just violently and vehemently disagree.
When he interviewed for the job for general manager, I believe he answered the question, what's your goal if you become the general manager with, I just want to be good. Super Bowl doesn't really interest me.
But Goody said at the end of the season, it's time we start
sustainability.
competing for championships, right?
No, Tausie's onto something.
It was sustainability, I think.
I think he said if we win more than 11 games, you should probably fire him.
Well, we have the Packers Pro Shop Strofe and the Goot stand Mark Tauscher here teaming up. So
we got three dumbasses thinking a general manager doesn't want to win.
Again, now you're doing the Tausch thing, regrouping one person's thought into everybody's.
Well, you guys all reiterated the same points. Your best argument about being anti-Gutenite, which you have every right to be, is why do you have $46 million in cap space available? That is something I myself am trying to get my head wrapped around as we're sitting here going into the season. That is your fair criticism.
And putting all of the dead cap money of Jair into this season.
That's football. You have to manage things. They obviously feel like this is their best way. I'm not gonna fight that. But the fact that you have $46 million in open cap space, now you have to sign guys, and I understand you have to plan, but that's a lot at this point in the season. That, to me, is where you could be super critical, and I think it's probably valid.
I think this went really well. Always love the conversation with Packers Hall of Famer Mark Tausch.
I thought Tausch was great.
We always end with going to tell what Tausch loves and what we love, and that's Gina Della from Pella.
We sure do love Gina Della from Pella, and you're going to love them too, especially because you're looking at those old, drafty, creaky windows and doors. You're probably interacting with them more now that the weather's nice. And you're probably thinking to yourself, I can't put this off any longer. That is a correct thought. And Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin is your go-to to transform your home from the inside out with new windows and doors. You're going to be able to increase your home value, decrease those energy costs. I know the Nortman household is pumping the air conditioning, particularly at night. I like it nice and cold when I sleep. And you're going to be able to keep that cold inside where it belongs. And now's a great time for your free consultation, because you can get no interest. And listen to this, no payments for up to 2 years. No interest, no payments. You get the benefit of that Pella Windows and Doors right now and not a cent out of your bank account for 2 years. So you got to hurry. This deal ends at the end of the month, June 30th. So if you want your free in-home consultation today, go to PellaWI.com.
It's the age-old, as Nick chimes in. You want to go all in and swing for the fences to win one championship? I'd rather have a chance to win every year. If you want to keep saying that, that's up to you. There's no right. I can't tell you how to think or feel, but Kyle did bring up it's been since 2010 since they've won a Super Bowl, and it feels like they have not changed the way they do business. And sooner or later, you're going to evolve or get left behind, in my opinion. But that's not the Packer way. So who am I to speak? More next.
This is Kyle Bruston Nortman, KBN.
Do you wash your shins in the shower? We shower from hair to kneecap. The rest can drip down our legs to our feet.
Doesn't work that way.
No, it does work that way.
What does the poll say?
34% don't wash their shins.
That is shockingly low. KBN Nation, you're better than that.
Yeah, it sounds like we have a lot of disgusting human beings on this planet.
On ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app. Brew Crew Tuesdays are back on June 17th.
Churio sends it deep to left, and there she goes.
Catch the Brewers on local TV as they battle the Chicago Cubs.
And Yelich launches one deep right center field. Forget about it. Oh, my goodness.
This edition of Brew Crew Tuesdays is presented by Delta Dental of Wisconsin. Tune in June 17th at 7:05 on Fox 6 in Milwaukee, or check out your local listings to watch the game.
Looking to transform your home with stylish furniture and home accessories without breaking the bank? At your local IKEA in Oak Creek, they believe everyone deserves a beautiful and affordable living experience that enhances your everyday life. From comfortable and fashionable sofas and sectionals, to kitchens full of inspiration, to bedrooms designed to help you find your best sleep and relaxation, IKEA's home furnishing combines form and function to fit any lifestyle and budget. Visit IKEA Oak Creek today or explore their collection online at ikea.com/US.
Slide into your neighborhood Century Food Store to score the freshest produce, tastiest treats, and everything in between. Now through Wednesday, save on 46 to 48 ounce selected varieties Blue Bunny Dairy Dessert, 2 for $7. 8.2 to 20 ounce selected varieties CPAC Seafood, $6.99. 7 to 15 ounce selected varieties Rana Pasta or Sauce, 2 for $7. 2 to 6 count selected varieties Northern Bath or Brawny Towels, $6.99.
Let's get some strawberries.
Attention shoppers. Safe.
Okay. Ooh, pineapple fulfills every need.
While you're shopping, a drive way back, it's a gunner.
There's something goofy going on with the PA.
Need a price check and I'll take me out to the ball game.
See, what is going on?
You're hearing things. We're at Century Foods, and you can't take your mind off winning that ultimate baseball fan sweepstakes.
I'm hoping to throw out the first pitch at a Milwaukee baseball game.
Or attend batting practice.
Or hold the finish line ribbon for the racing sausages.
You don't say.
The ultimate baseball fan sweepstakes at Century Foods. Enter on Century's Facebook or Instagram by July 30th.
The pulse of the Milwaukee Bucks, straight from a Bucks legend.
Can't get it off. Marcus Johnson will, though. Can't leave him alone for a 12.
Tap into Here District with Marcus Johnson on Bucks Plus. Marcus and his son Chris offer a weekly beat on Bucks basketball. Get your questions answered and hear from the biggest names in basketball. Find Here District with Marcus Johnson at bucks.com/plus on the Bucks app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Hey, it's Brad Nortman, and I've got to tell you about my go-to car wash, Tsunami Express. Get your ride looking its best and ride the wave at Tsunami Express Car Wash, Milwaukee's fan favorite for that perfect shine. Sign up for a monthly membership and enjoy unlimited washes for less than $1 a day. Skip the wait with the fast lane and take advantage of great perks. With locations in Midtown Milwaukee, Waukesha, Greenfield, Oak Creek, and Mount Pleasant, Tsunami Express has you covered. Tsunami Express Car Wash. Wash, chill, repeat. Visit TsunamiExpress.com to learn more.
The only thing that tops our selection is your savings discount liquor.
Father's Day is Sunday. Looking for the right gift for Dad? Whether it's a unique craft beer, hard-to-find whiskey, or a spectacular bottle of wine, we've got you covered. Hi, this is Marie from Discount Liquor, where since 1960, we have provided the best selection and the lowest prices in town. We stock literally thousands of varieties of beer, liquor, wine, and mixers. Over 15,000 actually, but who's counting? The point is, you want it, odds are we have it. Combine our incredible selection and everyday low prices with our 2 convenient locations, and you've got your one-stop shop for Father's Day. Discount Liquor on 51st in Oklahoma and Milwaukee, and in Barstow and Maine in downtown Waukesha.
The only thing that tops our selection is your savings discount liquor.
See our specials at discountliquorinc.com, and happy Father's Day.
You're listening to Kyle, Brust, and Nortman, KBN, on ESPN Wisconsin, ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube, and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
I come and I go. Tell me all the ways you need me. I'm not here for long.
I think it's going to be really interesting to see what this defense looks like with the schedule they have this year. You can't take away what they did. They were a top 10 defense last year. Can they back it up? It is a year-to-year league. The NFL is not easy. The schedule is tougher than it was last year. The talent you play at quarterback is much tougher this year. Did Goody do a good enough job building this roster to make this team be able to continue to compete at a high level? That is yet to be seen. We still have plenty of time. And he said, as old T mentioned, there is some cap space. And I'm hearing some rumblings that Goody's been doing some things.
What's the rumblings? What do you mean doing what thing?
Do a thing, Goody.
Two transactions I've been hearing that we could be seeing come our way. So I'll have Alex Strofe, producer of Kyle Brust and Norman here across ESPN Wisconsin. Just make sure he's scouring the scanners and the internet and the dark web of
These are two transactions he's hearing or two transactions that you think he should do?
No, two transactions that I think he's made and that will be coming to the forefront.
He did say something about using that cap space as a transaction that'll hit soon. Now, maybe Goody is like a great painter, and the canvas is just not fully painted yet. We've only seen a quarter of the canvas. He said, Goody, what are you drawing? What are you making? Maybe he's just not done painting his...
Is there someone that he could sign that would make Kyle Wallace take back everything he said about Goody not wanting to win championships?
Sign right now? Trying to think who's available. I mean,
Asante Samuel Jr.
Well, I mean, cornerback depth. I know he's had some struggles. I mean, he brings depth, but I don't know if he makes the room significantly better. But it's another body that has experience, so I would take him. Yeah,
they probably need to make a really needle-moving move.
Nailed it.
Allow myself to introduce myself.
Nailed it again.
It would have to be a trade, right? It would have to be a trade for someone headlining that's going to help the D-line, maybe like a Hendrickson or Watt. I'm not banking on that. I'm not assuming that's going to happen. But that would be the kind of thing where I'd say, okay, I see what Goody was doing.
David chimes in after bleeping on the defense all show. Now you mentioned they were top 10. Yeah, they were. But I still stand by that I don't really believe in this defense.
They play better teams this year.
Yeah, I mean, they're top 10, but we got to go back to the games that they lost to really good teams. And that's my thing when Tausch was, he talked about, we were close. Yeah, okay, we were close, but...
Oh, ready?
No.
Dang it.
Kyle, you can finish with that.
We were close, but close ain't good enough. And how are you going to be able to get over that hump? Because in a lot of those games, your defense just wasn't not good enough. I just remember the Lions game and also remember the game against the Vikings as well.
28-0 in the first half. Lions gave up 30 on the road. They kept the Lions in check at home when it was snowy outside.
Football.
Still lost.
That's football.
That's football, baby.
That's football.
An Eagles game, I give
You
it
like
to
that?
them early in the
I
season.
like that.
Can we get a thumbs up on this one?
That's football.
That's good.
That's football.
So for me, I want Goody to put in the best effort he can to put together a football team that we all can be confident in, especially when he's talking about that sense of urgency and ready to start competing for championships. I don't think we all believe that this defense is ready to compete for championships. Now, could I be wrong? Of course. I can be 100% wrong, but even Tausch, when he came on, he's talking about second-year player Evan Williams taking that next step. Talking about Edrin Cooper taking that next step. But this is the same conversation we talked about with LVN. We talked about Rashawn Gary. We talked about with a lot of different Devontae Wyatt, Quay Walker. So we keep talking about these guys taking the next
Year
step.
after year.
And so at what point do we stop sounding like an old broken record?
Until that's football starts. They play football.
And this defense particularly, and offense for that matter, they've been living in the good sphere. Nobody's calling them trash. They're good. But you got to be great to win a championship.
And I guess that's the thing is what do fans want? Do you want a championship or do you want to be 10-7, 11?
They want a fun fall.
This is turning into that. Like I'm genuinely like, it's been 15 years. Do you want to move with urgency or do you want me to lie to you and say that Nate Hobbs and Carrington Valentine and Keyshawn Nixon are good enough to go win you a Super Bowl? That's just not the truth. It's not. Now, if Goody does more and changes that, then I'll change my tune. But I'm not going to sit here and lie about how I feel. It's the one thing I won't do. And I'm not going to sit here and also suck at Are You Smarter Than Ben Brust? Oh, wait, I do it every week. So let's go right to that. Caller number 10, 800-990-3776. You get 15 questions in 90 seconds. You're allowed to say skip or pass. Winner wins a prize pack. What's my record this year?
Awful.
You sure you want to know?
Maybe don't tell me.
314 and 3, 315 and
Worse
3.
than that.
Oh wow, what?
316 and 3.
Oh. 800-990-3776. Caller 10. 800-990-3776. That is to be. Caller 10 in Are You Smarter Than Ben Brust? And face me. 800-990-3776. Back in 2 minutes. It's ESPN Wisconsin's Ben Brust talking about our friends at Road America, America's National Park of Speed. Get out of your house this summer and go to Road America, located conveniently between Green Bay and Milwaukee and Elkhart Lake. Come see a race at the legendary 4-mile, 14-turn road circuit that has hosted some of the best races since 1955. IndyCar XPEL Grand Prix is up next on June 19th through the 22nd. Camp on site all weekend and enjoy free admission for kids 16 and under with a paying adult at the gate. Come for the experience and stay for the race. Get your tickets at roadamerica.com.
At Citizens Bank, community banking is you, growing your business with a partner who gets it. It's you, buying your first home with a lender who makes it easy. It's you, building a future with savings that work just as hard as you. And it's us, working together to strengthen our community. Because at Citizens Bank, community banking means you plus us. Visit us at citizensbankwi.bank. Citizens Bank is member FDIC and an equal housing lender.
The Protect the Package golf outing takes place on August 16 at Ironwood Golf Course. Come be a part of the most unique outing in the state while helping loved ones battle cancer. Proceeds benefit the This Time Tomorrow Foundation. Sign up your foursome at thistimetomorrow.org under the Events tab.
This is Mike from Professional Construction, Inc. It's been an exciting year. From celebrating 20 years in business to our son graduating his construction apprenticeship and becoming a full-time carpenter.
Yeah, Dad, I won't be needing my toy hammer anymore. Why don't you hold that and the flashlight so I can help our amazing customers?
That's what a family business is all about, pursuing dreams and helping others.
And that's exactly what we do here at PCI.
Visit professionalconstructioninc.com for all your construction needs.
Earth Justice is a national legal nonprofit defending the environment and people's health. Until justice stands for all, our lawyers will never rest. More at earthjustice.org/neverrest. Earth Justice, because the earth needs a good lawyer.
Hey, this is Brad Nortman from KBN. Tune in to Kyle, Brust, and Nortman every day from 2 to 5. WKTI and WKTI HD Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station.
Broadcasting live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studio at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee. This is Kyle Brust and Nortman, KBN on ESPN Wisconsin. Here's Kyle Wallace, Ben Brust, and Brad Nortman.
That's right, you are kicking it with KBN. I am Brad Nortman, alongside Kyle Wallace, and the cool there was compliments of Alex Strofe, the maestro of Are You Smarter Than Ben Brust? Okay, enough of the Green Bay conversation. We need a little break. Kyle and my blood pressure, and Strofe's for that matter, needs a little bit of reprieve.
It's not the Packers' fault my blood pressure's high.
Oh, I think it is.
Oh, it's your fault.
You're putting it on the wrong place. But let's pile up on Ben, shall we? That's always the thing we can get along with. Piling up on Ben, and we know that we are continuing the series of guest question askers for Are You Smarter Than Ben Brust, presented by Lakeland University. And today we have executive producer of the Thanalysis Show himself, Tony Cartagena. Welcome into the show, Tony. We talk about you all the time on air. You're a cultivator of ideas for this show. It's wonderful to have you on.
How many guest guessers or guest question askers have there been? Double digits, I'm guessing.
This is number 15.
It is. I'm 15. I work with you guys on this show daily. It took nearly 4-5 months.
Tony.
Which means I'm ready. Hey, I've been practicing. I wake up in the mirror every morning and I read a question just to prepare to beat Ben.
What was your question today?
I don't know. I was more so going for the theatrics there, Strofe. Thank you.
Yes, and we have today Tyler in Fond du Lac that is going to be competing against Ben.
Come on,
Are You
Tyler.
Smarter in Ben Brust. Let's go ahead and spin it, Strophe.
For those of you who say Ben Brust is an idiot, here's your chance to be proven right. It's time to play Are You Smarter Than Ben Brust?
It is Are You Smarter Than Ben Brust, presented by Lakeland University. Here is how we play. 15 questions in 90 seconds to get as many answers correct as you can. You're allowed to say pass, and we'll come back to it if you get through the rest. If you beat Ben Brust, you're going to win an ESPN Wisconsin prize package. Tyler and Fond du Lac, how we feeling today?
I'm doing good.
Doing good. Confident, short and sweet. Ready for the arena.
Doing well, doing well.
It is Tyler in Fond du Lac. And today, as I said, guest, question asker, Tony Cartagena, fixture of Good Karma Brands, and executive producer, of the Analysis Show. Fixture.
I've been around the block a little
Tony
bit.
Cartagena.
I know a thing or two. Tyler, are you smart? How do you would you classify yourself as smart?
I tried to be. I'm an 8th grade teacher, so.
Oh, he's ready.
Perfectly positioned.
Time to cook, Tyler.
Perfect.
All right.
The kids are out of school. It's time to cook.
I would hope an 8th grade teacher smarter than a 5th grader, right? That's how this goes?
We'll try our best.
All right, we're not going to say what school you teach at in case it doesn't go as well as we all hope.
That's probably a good idea.
All right, Tyler, you know the rules, you know the drill. Once I count down 3, 2, 1, we will get this thing cooking. You good to go?
Yes, sir.
All right, Strofe, hit us in 3, 2. What is the only U.S. state that borders just one other state?
Maine.
What is the process by which plants release water vapor through small pores in their leaves?
Pass.
What is the term for a person who eats no animal products at all?
Vegetarian.
Which pop artist is known for the 2021 hit song Levitating, who has also been referenced as Strofe's favorite artist?
Pass.
In what country would you find Mount Kilimanjaro?
Nigeria.
What is the word for an angle less than 90 degrees?
Acute.
What U.S. city is nicknamed the City of Bridges?
Pittsburgh.
What color do you get when you mix red and green?
Orange.
What is the art of paper folding called?
Origami.
What country's flag is red with a large white cross?
Norway.
What is the fictional language spoken by minions in Despicable Me?
Minionese.
What is a group of lions called?
A pride.
What is the name of the river that flows through Baghdad?
Oh, Euphrates.
Got to 13 of the 15 questions there, Tyler. That's not bad.
I know some of those he cooked on. Others, I'm a little. What do you get, Strofe?
6 spot.
6 spot. Some of those are easy. Some of those are very hard.
Yeah, there's no real middle ground
Yeah,
in these
Ben's
questions.
Ben's gonna struggle with some of these because he doesn't really know pop culture either, so he's not gonna.
But some of these have been used before. I think like 8 of these have been on previous episodes of this.
Yeah.
It's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting, that's for sure.
Yeah.
He's definitely not gonna get the number 13, boy.
Do I have to read? Can I get some feedback on this? Do I need to read faster, slower?
Do
what
exactly what you just did.
Good pace, Tony.
Good pace? All right.
Good pace.
Look, Ben feels confident walking in here.
He
feels
walked in
good.
like a cowboy in a saloon right there.
He wasn't too surprised.
Cowboy in a saloon.
You guys are too friendly with him, as in TC's his boy.
I've known him for so long.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. TC's his boy.
He also,
I'm just going to read the questions that are presented
TC,
to me.
good,
you know,
man.
he also doesn't intimidate me.
Oh, wow. You going to take that, TC?
With that fake tough crowd.
You going to take that, TC?
Wow. One, this is not fake, okay? I stole it, but it's not fake.
Don't incriminate yourself now.
I stole it from a person, not a store. It's fine.
All right. Well, we are playing Are You Smarter Than Ben Prust? 15 questions.
Does that still work? Can you, as long as it's a person, you know?
It's fine.
I mean, just on they report it to the police that it was missing.
Yeah, the value's not of a certain. It's petty theft at this point.
Yeah,
Come on,
exactly.
guys. I might be dumb, but I know legal things to stay out of the big house, okay? Enough.
You're allowed to say pass. We'll come back through it if you get through the rest. You're playing Tyler and Fond du Lac. If he beats you, he's winning the ESPN Wisconsin prize package. That's right.
Our guy Chef Ed on the talking text line, the Carbless talking text line, got a 9 spot at home. So just saying. You might have to.
Come out.
So, all right.
Take it away.
You know the rules. 3, 2. What is the only U.S. state that borders just one other state?
Oh, man. That's tough. Pass!
What is the process by which plants release water vapor through small pores in their leaves?
Evaporation?
What is the term for a person who eats no animal products at all?
That's vegetarian.
Which pop artist is known for the 2021 hit Levitating, also references Stroph's favorite artist?
Pass. I can sing the song.
In what country would you find Mount Kilimanjaro? Half point if you sing that song.
Japan.
What is the word for an angle less than 90 degrees?
An acute angle.
What city is nicknamed the City of Bridges?
San Francisco.
What color do you get when you mix red and green?
Red and green give you purple?
What is the art of paper folding called?
Origami?
What country's flag is red with a large white cross?
Large white cross? The Swiss.
What is the fictional language
country.
spoken by
I said it.
minions in Despicable Me?
Say it again.
Fictional language spoken by minions in Despicable Me.
They speak a language? Pass.
What is a group of lions called?
Pack.
What is the name of the river that flows through Baghdad?
The Iraq River.
Oh, good guess.
Wow.
Very good guess. Very good guess.
Oh, wow. Tyler and Fond du Lac.
How much did I lose by?
Well, you only had 3, so that's not going
That's
to be
it?
a good starting point.
Yeah, you suck.
He doubled you up. He had 6.
These were all either very hard. Like, Stroph, did you know the Tigris River?
First off, it's the
I was going to
Tigris.
say Maine.
I don't think
Okay.
it is,
We've
but-
done a
or
bad
Tigris?
job at this. I'm going to go fast through the answers. What is the only U.S. state that borders just one other state? That's Maine. What is the process by which plants release water vapor through small pores in their leaves? Transpiration?
Wow.
Never heard of that.
Yep.
See, no animal products at all. Vegan. That's what I thought.
But you
Well,
didn't
that's
say
not
it.
what
Yeah,
you
yeah,
said,
you
so
said
it's
not
not
Yeah,
what you
I got that. Dua Lipa sings Levitating.
But you
I
know
thought
the
it was
lyrics.
Sabrina Carpenter.
No.
That's what I would've guessed.
Mount Kilimanjaro's Tanzania?
Not Japan. It's
Yeah,
a little
I
bit of
knew,
a distance.
I knew it was in Africa.
I don't think 90% of people know that.
No, that was
Less than 90 degrees is an acute angle.
You did good. You got that
City
one.
of Bridges is Pittsburgh. What color do you get when you mix red and green? Yellow or brown?
Depends on how much of each you use.
Wow. How did I get origami right?
That's
Wild.
super
The art
easy.
of-
Yeah,
It's
that's a
the
layup.
easiest question on there.
That is.
What
It felt
a-
like the hardest one to me.
What other answer would you give?
What country's flag is red with a large white cross? That's Switzerland.
Look at
Like
you.
what are these? How am I supposed Minionese? Minions.
Can I ask
Tyler
Kyle
got
and
that.
Brad? So you guys both got through 13. Can I see that and ask Kyle and
Sure.
Brad 14 and 15 to see how they would do?
Interesting.
Yeah.
I'm curious
I like
on
that idea.
Let me just keep on going here.
You're at the last
What
one.
is a group of lions called a pride?
Not a pack. A little surprise.
What is the
Not
name of the
hyenas.
river that throws through Baghdad? That is the Tigris.
Tigris? I think it is.
Tigris.
Since I got it in front of me, Tony.
All right, well, you ask him then.
What famous American highway is also known as Mother Road?
I don't know.
Is that Route 66?
Of course, Brad
I
gets
was
it.
a bit
Nerd.
Guess.
What do you call a triangle with all 3 sides of different lengths? You don't go first.
It's not an equilateral, I'll tell you that much. The opposite.
It's true.
of
Yeah.
I believe isosceles is 2 sides of the same.
that. I don't
What's
know.
the other
It's
one?
the forgotten one.
I don't know.
Scaling, you guys
Oh, yeah.
Triangle.
Scaling. Yeah, you would have
Classic
struggled with those ones
scaling.
because he was a teacher. He would have got the least of last 2.
Well, it doesn't matter who the question asker is. I just am no good.
3, 17, and 3 on the year.
Can we reset at some point?
Yeah, on January 1st.
Seriously?
That's a
You can
long
catch
way.
up, though.
Is
What
it
if you catch
possible?
up?
When's the
It's
point
actually
of no
not
return?
that long of a way. We're almost halfway through
So
the year.
you would have to get, 14 weeks in a row to get above 500?
To get to 500.
Oh, to
you
get
need
to
win
500?
14 weeks in a row.
Wow.
It's only 3.5 months.
Starts next week.
No, it doesn't.
Starts next week.
Nope.
In
Yes,
terms
it
of
does.
Brewers math,
The
where's Ben
IndyCar
Brooks?
XFL Grand Prix is coming to Road America. That is the 19th through the 22nd. You got to get out of your house. Starting to get warm. Going to be really hot tomorrow. But make sure you camp out all weekend. Camp out on site all weekend at Road America. Kids 16 and under are free with a paying adult at the gate. It doesn't get any better to have affordable family fun in the climate and the environment that we live in right now. Everything's expensive, but not Road America. Kids 16 and under are free with the paying adult at the gate. IndyCar is one of my favorite weekends when it comes to Road America. June 19th through the 22nd. Sick flyovers, great food, great experience. And as I always say, you come for the experience, you stay for the race. Get your tickets for the IndyCar XFL Grand Prix, June 19th through the 22nd at roadamerica.com. What do we got?
Did you just give a weather update in the middle of that, of telling us about Road America? It's going to be really hot tomorrow.
I sure did. I saw 81.
Yeah, it's June. That happens.
Yeah, then it goes down to 55 the next 4 days after that.
Thank you. Thank you for the commentary, I guess.
Just letting everybody know. More next.
This is Kyle Bruston Nortman.
These hands are not made for fixing anything in a house. I'll make a phone call, and I'm cheap, but I ain't that cheap. I got my guys. Got my handyman. Shout out to Chris. Under the table.
Just like that, dude's getting audited now.
Yeah.
On ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Good afternoon. Looks like westbound 94, we are going to be tightening up a bit from about 27th Street all the way to about Mitchell Boulevard. Northbound 43 slowing just before just before Mayfair Road all the way up to about Capitol Drive. Southbound is slowing down from Appleton Avenue down past Capitol. And then we still have this delay in the Hale Interchange. Southbound 894 from Beloit Road down and around past Forest Home Avenue. Part of that is a delay because of an earlier disabled vehicle at 60th Street that was stuck in traffic. That one is out of traffic now, but still we got those delays working their way through the Hale Interchange. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast tonight, mostly clear, a low of 63. Tomorrow, mostly sunny, a chance of rain or storms at night, a high of 83. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
The Packers and Jair Alexander are no more.
Is this going to be the case where we're going to look back and say, man, did Green Bay really screw up by cutting Jair Alexander?
You don't release a guy like Jair unless you feel comfortable at that position. Now, are they good enough is a whole different debate.
94.5 ESPN is your home for all Packers off-season news. Stay up to date on the new ESPN Wisconsin app or at ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube.
Whether you're about to graduate high school or have been in the workforce for years, it's time to take control of your future. Welcome to Lakeland University, where you call the shots. We use our flexible learning formats to customize your degree path. In-person, online, and virtual classes are all available. Lakeland University is designed around you, your goals, your schedule, your future. You can even earn up to 25% of your degree via paid work experiences. Ready to take control of your future? Let us customize an education to fit your needs. Visit lakeland.edu/ESPN to learn more.
Monica, we've got to hand it to you.
You and the design team have outdone yourselves.
Are you talking about the One Collection?
Those rings say you are the one.
And they say it symbolically.
Describe the symbols.
Every ring in the One Collection should be presented with a special ritual.
What would that ritual be?
You pick up her left hand and you place a kiss on her ring finger.
Rick, you never told me about that part.
Then you show her the tiny red diamond, flush mounted inside the ring, that will forever be in contact with her finger.
Why is it red?
Because that's when the giver says to the one, wherever you go, my heart goes with you.
I give you this kiss. I give you my heart.
The red diamond is a secret symbol of that sacred moment.
The center diamond on the outside of the ring is for the whole world to see.
But the tiny red created diamond inside the ring is only for the two of them.
The One collection of engagement rings is available exclusively at Kessler's.
To find the Kesslers nearest you,
Visit KesslersDiamonds.com.
Hey, it's Kyle Walsh, and if you're a homeowner like me, you know how it goes. There's always a project that needs attention, and sometimes the big ones, like replacing old windows, get pushed to the bottom of the list. But I'm telling you, this is the time to finally check that box with Universal Windows Direct. They're running their home improvement season sale, and the offer is just too good to pass up. You can get payments as low as $99 a month or no payments and no interest for an entire year. Call 414-410-2000 or go to universalwindowsdirect.com.
The Golden Mast is offering relaxing rides on Okauchee Lake aboard their brand new Bay Runner pontoon patio. Enjoy 2-hour cocktail cruises on Thursdays and Sundays. Get tickets at goldenmastin.com. Private event rentals also available. Bigger boat, more people, more fun. goldenmastin.com.
Wisconsin's own Gruber offices. One call, that's all.
I feel so stuck.
The Veterans Crisis Line is here for you. Dial 988, then press 1 to call.
You're listening to Kyle, Brust, and Nortman on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
You want me, I want you, baby. My sugar boo, I'm levitating. The Milky Way, we're renegading. Yeah. I got you.
Potawatomi Casino Hotel Milwaukee is known for its endless ways to win. And Friday, June 27th, Potawatomi is showing why that's the standard with the highly anticipated season finale blockbuster drawings. Watch your entries from Enchanted Spins, Unreal Treasures, and Boundless Bounty roll into drawings worth $300,000 in cash and prizes is up for grabs. Be there to win your share June 27th at Potawatomi. Must be 21 years or older to play. Ben Brusk.
Who made this song?
Dua Lipa. And they just said her name.
Yeah, you didn't know that.
She made this song?
She did, yes.
The person singing right now
I hear
is
guys
somebody
voice.
who is probably featured.
The Baby is featured in a remix version of this.
Baby.
Your favorite rapper, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. I saw him at a Hornets game one time.
Great song.
Not Lil Baby. Dub Baby.
Baby.
Two different people.
Yeah. And then,
Wow.
And then
Who
Baby.
thought competition for Baby, the Baby name, would be so
There's
great.
a lot.
Isn't there more babies?
There's a lot of babies.
There's more.
There's Babyface. He's a great singer. There's Birdman. They
Baby
call him-
J?
Okay. Baby Bash, maybe you think?
I'm making stuff up.
I think you are.
Boy, who knew? If I was going to be a rapper, I wouldn't go the Baby angle.
Where
There's a
would you
song
go?
by Beyonce, Baby Boy.
You go to
Used to be
big,
on my
big
mind.
angle, maybe Big Brad.
Yeah,
Big
big.
B-Rad
I
or
go
something?
big. I go big B.
Well,
Rad.
Big Brad Nortman of Kyle Brust Nortman did some research.
Big research.
Big research.
Big nerd alert guy coming your way.
Big case study. Can I get the football music trophy?
Now, we have been told that people do enjoy when you bring statistics, and I cannot believe that. But here goes Brad Nortman. Here goes that man.
Okay, there's a lot of stats coming your way, KBN Nation, so buckle up and hold on tight. Yesterday, we're talking about Jair Alexander. I make the statement that he's an all-pro caliber player, and that's the reason why, boy, it's hard to say that the Packers got better without an all-pro guy. But I'm like, well, maybe I'm crazy. Maybe I'm wrong. Like, I wanted to go and do a little research. I went 10 years, the last 10 Super Bowls, all the way back to the final nail in the coffin of second place Brad, all the way back to Super Bowl 50, to 2015. And I quantified how many all-pro players were on those Super Bowl participant teams. So I would take the NFC, the AFC, and said how many AP. Now, there's a bunch of all-pro. AP all-pro guys, okay? And how many were on each team? I'll save you the list, but if you add them all up, it comes out to 4.1 all-pros per team. So basically, rounding down, any given Super Bowl team has 4 all-pro guys on the team. Some guys have more, some have less. For instance, back in 2022, Philly had 6 and Kansas City had 7. That's a lot. That's the most of any of them. Now, there were some teams, like the Denver Broncos that I played, they only had 2. The ones that had a lower amount, like 2, there were a couple with 3. They had an all-time something. The Denver Bronco team had an all-time defense. The other teams were happened to be New England a couple times. They had an all-time quarterback. So the takeaway for me was 4 all-pro players amongst a lot of other very good players on your team. That is a characteristic of a Super Bowl team. Now I thought to myself, what about the Green Bay Packers? They went to the Super Bowl in 96 and 97 and 2010. So I went back and looked at theirs. Sure enough, back in 96 when the Packers won, they had 3 all-pros, including the MVP. In 97, when they lost to the Broncos, 4 all-pros, including an MVP. And in 2010, 4 all-pro players, all on defense. And Rodgers was 5th in Offensive Player of the Year. Okay, so takeaway. Great teams, Super Bowl caliber teams, have at least, or has an average of 4 all-pro guys. I went back and I looked at the last 7 years under Brian Gutekunst. How many all-pros are the Packers putting out since 2018?
Total in the last 7 years?
I'll go year by year. 2018, 1.
I mean,
Aaron Rodgers?
David Bakhtiari.
Oh, Bebop.
2018, 1.
Rodgers was
2019, 1. Now, if you were going to say,
19.
okay, since 2010, what were the years, would you say, the Packers were a Super Bowl caliber team?
2020.
2020, glad you said that. They had 6 all-pro guys that year. It was D-Bach, Lindsley, Rodgers, Devontae, Jair, and Zadarius Smith. And they should have won the Super Bowl that year.
How many did they have in 19?
1.
Yeah,
they were the NFC Championship game in 19.
Yeah, but they got blown out by San Francisco. They were. It was a good first year.
Everyone was
they were
saying,
kind of a fraudulent.
13-3.
Because the next year, 2021, they had 3: Rodgers, Devontae again, and Campbell. Actually, if you
would Devondre year,
Devondre Campbell, 2021 and 2014, other years people would say the Packers were Super Bowl caliber. They had 3 and 4. 3 all-pros and 4 all-pros and the MVP, of course. So since those years, 2022, they've had 2. Jair again and Nixon as a returner.
It was against the Keyshawn.
Yeah, Keyshawn Nixon.
As a returner.
Does that count?
No, it does not count. Especially when you don't want to do it anymore.
2023, Nixon as a returner, and 2024, 1 in Xavier McKinney. So there's a lot of numbers. Let me sum it up really quickly for you. Super Bowl caliber teams. They have very good rosters, and you got an average of 4 all-pros. And honestly, most recently, 24, 23, and 22, the last 3 seasons, those are averaging about 6. 6 all-pros per team. So there's been more recently. Why is that a big deal? We've been talking all the time about the Packers having a good roster. They are full of good players. It's admirable, the good team they've put together. But I'm struggling looking around for all-pro players. And why do all-pro players matter? I've sat in enough game plan meetings, right? Granted, I'm not part of the game plan, but I'm sitting in on these meetings and I'm watching coaches.
Got to stop him. He can change the game.
How exactly? You highlight a guy, you circle a guy, you say this guy's a force multiplier. Not only is he great, he makes everybody great around him. So we're gonna cater our entire game plan to that guy, whether it's offense or defense. What happens if you have multiple of those? There's nothing you can really do. If you've got 2 or 3 all-pro guys on any side of the ball, you can't do anything about it. You hope they beat themselves, which is what the Packer teams have done that have not went to the Super Bowl who had that many guys. So I stand here thinking to myself, okay, you know you need many all-pros because of what it does to another team and because of what that makes you. It makes you great. Who are the Packers all-pro guys? You got Xavier McKinney.
Okay, I think this could be a fun next segment.
Okay.
Who could be, if they need 4 minimum?
4 minimum.
You need 4 minimum. You would make your bet. 800-990-3776.
Thank you. A lot of numbers, but
who would be your 4 all-pros on the 2025 Green Bay Packers if they get 4? 800-990-3776. You need 4 to be a Super Bowl caliber team based off of history and averages. Who would be your 4 of the 2025 Green Bay Packers?
Who do we think they're going to be, or who do they need to be?
Doesn't matter. Give me 4.
Okay.
Next.
This is Kyle Bruston Nortman, KBN.
I said, baby, we got to do more sucking. And so I called the company. I said, listen, y'all put this thing in here. Y'all need to come on.
On ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Good afternoon. Looks like westbound 94, we are going to be tightening up a bit from about 27th Street all the way to about Mitchell Boulevard. Northbound 43 slowing just before just before Mayfair Road all the way up to about Capitol Drive. Southbound is slowing down from Appleton Avenue down past Capitol. And then we still have this delay in the Hale interchange. Southbound 894 from Beloit Road down and around past Forest Home Avenue. Part of that is a delay because of an earlier disabled vehicle at 60th Street that was stuck in traffic. That one is out of traffic now, but still we've got those delays working their way through the Hale interchange. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast.
Here's Ben Brust for Debbie Lazica.
Tomorrow, inland, you're looking at about an 84 degree. Towards the lake, might be a little bit cooler. 81, low 50s in the inland. Got to get out. That is your weather update. Kyle Brooks-Norman.
Set sail this June for a boundless bounty at Potawatomi. Come aboard, and you might win a share of $300,000 in cash and prizes. Just play with your rewards card for entries. Prize drawings on Thursdays. Boundless Bounty this June at Potawatomi Casino Hotel, Milwaukee. Your win is waiting. More info online. Must be 21 and a rewards member to play.
Becoming a truck driver doesn't have to be complicated. At Schneider, we make it easy to get your commercial driver's license and start your new career. With our CDL apprenticeship training, you'll get paid to become a truck driver in just 5 to 6 weeks and have a Schneider driving job waiting for you when you've completed the program. Plus, during training, Schneider will provide transportation, lodging, and meals at no cost to you. Ready to get your career on the road? Learn more and apply today at SchneiderJobs.com. That's SchneiderJobs.com.
An ESPN Radio Extra Point with Michelle Smallman.
Normally, when we talk about quarterbacks under pressure in the NFL, we divert to Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, guys who've been MVPs, guys who have been excellent throughout their careers but have not been able to break through. Jared Goff has been in a Super Bowl. He's been in an NFC Championship game. The Detroit Lions were the class of that conference last year. I mean, the Eagles were obviously amazing, but they were 15-2. Now, I know they lost both their coordinators, but you have a guy under center who is capable of getting you to a Super Bowl, who's capable of getting you to the Final Four. You have a collection of talent that is capable of getting you there. And if it wasn't for injuries, circumstances outside of your control last year, who knows how things would have played out in the playoffs. This is an organization that is dying for a Super Bowl. They're supposed to be there. How is it not on him and on them to break through?
Something amazing is happening here. Scientists are using AI to study how whales talk to each other. CDW experts can give researchers the power to process complex data with HP workstations, advanced by AMD Ryzen Threadripper Pro processors. With easier handling of AI workloads, your organization can bring powerful insights to the surface. Make amazing happen. HP, AMD, and CDW. Learn more at cdw.com/HPAMD.
Teams are battling for the championship, and there's no better place to get in on the intensity than ESPN Bet. Go from tracking the latest game-changing moments to placing bets in just a few taps. Right now, new customers can get $100 in bonus bets when you make your first $10 wager. Download the ESPN Bet Sportsbook app and sign up with the promo code JOEQ, that's JOEQ, to get started today. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details. Offer not available in New York.
You're listening to Kyle Brust and Nortman on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Per Brad Nortman in the study that he presented to us, of the last 10 years, on average, you have 4.1 All-Pros on a Super Bowl caliber team. The last you likely have like a Hall of Fame quarterback or a Hall of Fame defense. Mm-hmm. And so with this task, we went to KBN Nation 800-990-3776 and said if they were going to have 4 on the Green Bay Packers, who would they be? Let's not take too long to do this. I don't need all your explanations. I need to know who. From Brad, Kyle, myself, and KBN Nation, I will get to you next.
All right. My 4 All-Pros for the Green Bay Packers, Jordan Love. Jordan Love has to be part of this or else they're not going to get anywhere. It's a quarterback-driven league. Quarterback is capable in Jordan Love to do it. Other one's Zach Tom. That means he's protecting Jordan Love, and it means that they're running the ball effectively. Defensive side of the ball, it's Cooper. It's Edgerrin Cooper. I mean, he's shown flashes of brilliance. Playmaker behind the ball, sacks, running the ball, whatever it is. And, of course, it's Xavier McKinney. He's already proven he can be all-pro. Get your ball hawk in the back. Love, Tom, Cooper, McKinney. That puts you in the Super Bowl conversation.
Yeah, Brett, I do like the list. One thing I'll say is we got to start with Zach Tom. I think it's Zach Tom, how good he is and who he finished behind this year. I think in Pro Football Focus, the thing that you love and I love as well. And he finished behind some really good tackles in Lane Johnson and Sewell from the Lions. And so he's right there on the cusp of doing that. And then Xavier McKinney. We need Xavier McKinney to be able to be an all-pro because we need somebody to continue to solidify the back end of that defense just like he did last year. Now, when I look on the defensive side of football, another position I need to go to is if Rashawn Gary can play at an all-pro level, that changes everything.
Whoa.
Now,
Breaking news.
Do I believe he can do it? Probably not. But we're talking about what the Green Bay Packers need to do in order to be a Super Bowl championship team. And based off what Goody believes, he still probably believes in Rashawn Gary. That's why you had the issue with Jair Alexander, but you let him move on. But you need Rashawn Gary to be that. And then also I'm right there with you with Edgerrin Cooper. When I think about Jordan Love, it is so hard to be an all-pro quarterback. If Jordan Love plays at that all-pro level, that means he's better than a lot of elite guys.
Might be MVP.
He can still, but being just a really good quarterback will be enough if you have these other guys picking up slack. So that is the list that I have: is Zach Tom, Xavier McKinney, Rashawn Gary, and Edgerrin Cooper. If those 4 guys are all pros, then you're talking about a team that can compete for a title.
On the Carbless Talking text line, Nick chimes in. Xavier McKinney, are we all in agreement? Xavier McKinney, one of the more likely candidates.
Yes.
Thumbs up.
Not only
Yes.
needed, but likely.
I thought you were going to give me a little ding, ding, ding. There it is.
My button was off. That's on me.
Are we all in agreement that Edgerrin Cooper?
Yeah.
He's got the potential.
I then see a Tucker Kraft, and that's where I think we're getting a little too ahead of our skis here.
Ooh.
I mean, if Tucker Kraft becomes
If he is, that's great.
I mean, that would be...
It's a big jump. He's like tight end 10.
Here's what would need to happen. He'd need to become your number 1 receiver.
Correct.
Yes. He'd be the
your number 1 pass
Gronkowski
catcher.
and Kelce.
Yeah.
Yes.
A Travis Kelce, a Gronk-like
and a Brock
figure.
Bowers type guy.
Brock Bowers.
Boy.
Yeah.
That
Under the radar.
Right
that,
there.
yeah, there it is. It's going to be kind of tough.
Well, we're counting second team All-Pro, correct?
Yeah,
Yes.
first and second team All-Pro. And that is only, there's only 2 of them per position. That's why it's so hard. 2 tight ends.
So he's got to be a top 4 tight end.
Top 2.
Yeah.
I'm talking All-Pro. This is
There's
4 of
one
All-Pros
per
in
one
the
year.
NFL.
First team, second team.
So there's 2 quarterbacks in the whole NFL that are All-Pro.
And they didn't win a Super Bowl this last year.
Nobody's thrown out Jordan Love yet.
Brad said he has to be. I don't think he has to be.
But he's got to be. He's got to be really good.
I see a Zach Tom.
Yeah.
I think I had Zach Tom as well. Nick had Elton Jenkins, which I think is an interesting one.
Yeah, I think you can make an argument.
Be
for
hard
at
to
least
be an
3
all-pro
linemen.
center in your first year. It'd be very impressive.
I guess the case I would make for him is it's the easiest position on the offensive line, and he's their best lineman, debatably.
I don't think it's the easiest position on the offense.
It's the least paid in the NFL.
Well,
that doesn't mean it's the easiest, as weird as it is. I feel like we've had the discussion with Brian Balog, and he goes, "It's not easy, but it's
they
you got to get the silent countdown and all that
and make
good stuff,
calls and do a lot of different things. And it's
he's the vet, though. He's the vet on that line.
Can I tell you a crazy stat, though?
Right? Yeah, why not, bro?
The Philadelphia
Why not?
Eagles.
You're a stat man.
Last year had 6 All-Pro. 6 All-Pro. That's crazy.
I'd like to hear those. Do you
not
have those?
included on the All-Pro list.
Jalen Hurts,
Devontae Smith, Dallas Goedert, Cooper DeJean, Jordan Davis, Juergens, Quinyon Mitchell. Those are studs, and those guys were not All-Pro. And
you know
they
what's
had
sad
6
about that, Brad?
That's ridiculous.
The Eagles are going to be really good again.
They are so stinking good.
And you just listed off 2 cornerbacks that would probably be our number 1 cornerback.
Easily be our number
Cooper
1
DeJean and Quinyon Mitchell.
All right.
And they voted in, and they got Quinyon Mitchell in the 20s.
I'm going to do it. And I'm going to do more of it later in the Wheel of Strofe. But, Kyle, I'd like to issue a formal apology to you.
Why is that?
Because last year, you were really torn up that the Packers didn't draft Coop.
I was.
And they drafted Jacob Morgan instead.
Jordan Morgan.
Damn, don't even know the boy's name.
I went to college with a guy named Jacob Morgan. I
didn't know if you were doing Jacob Monk and Jacob Morgan, Jordan Morgan all together.
Jordan Morgan instead. I'm sorry. You were right.
Wow.
How about that?
I mean, it happens quite.
Okay.
I respect that, brother.
Wow.
I respect that.
Write this down.
345.
345.
I'm right a lot.
25.
I am. I'm
All right,
right
okay. You
quite a
took
bit.
it too far.
Now
I think Kyle's on something. Sympathy for you,
Kyle's
Kyle.
on to something.
I'm
I think
right
Kyle's
quite a
on to
bit.
something.
I
Kyle's
am.
on
I mean,
something.
I think Kyle's on to something.
He was right.
Dang. This is just GM Kyle. GM
The
Kyle
Packers
does
should
the
have
stuff.
hired him.
Elliott
All right,
Wolf
now we've
missed.
gone too
He
far.
missed out.
Yeah, if the Packers hired me, I would have been in the room just, Goody, we gotta make a trade for Trey Hendrickson. Kyle, calm down. Absolutely not. I'll be the one leaking everything. Hey, Jason, I got something for you. Actually, no, Jason he likes them. I need somebody who don't like them. Hey, Ben Bruss, got some real.
Nah,
big
he's a bad
journalist.
newsbreaker.
Yeah, he is. I'll find something.
Hey, I had it right until Rodgers messed it all
You
up.
don't know that.
McKinney, Jenkins, Cooper, McManus.
Hey.
No, I don't
Kicker
care.
love.
Actually, that's not a bad
Little
pick.
kicker love.
What do
I love
do all
specialist
pro
love.
kickers win Super Bowls? I don't know.
This, why we're naming players in the Packers, this comes from the study of Brad Nortman. The Super Bowl caliber teams. The Super Bowl teams have 4 All-Pros in them.
I'm not going
typically.
to make the case for Daniel Whelan because he was a jerk to Brad.
Okay,
And anybody that's a
I
jerk
also
to
don't
my
think he's
friend-
that. I think he's a mid-punter, if
I don't
I'm
want
not
there
mistaken.
to be this narrative that he was a jerk to me. He wasn't a
No,
jerk.
he was. You're just too nice to say
He
it.
just wasn't like
Nice.
He just wasn't
He was a jerk.
super interested in continuing our conversation or learning about me.
You
I carried
punted-
it. I asked all the questions.
Here's the thing. As an NFL punter, you would think you'd want to learn a thing or two from a guy who played in the Super Bowl. I'm just saying.
You'd think so.
Yeah, these young kids don't respect their elders, Brad. That's what it comes
Don't.
down
It's that
to.
Gen Z, Kyle.
It is that Gen Z energy. I just can't believe he didn't respect you. He didn't realize who he was talking. He was in
Gen X, Gen Z, Millennial, it doesn't matter. You need to go to IKEA. They have delivery options. IKEA delivery buys you time and energy to do what you want, no matter what generation you're from. Kitchen and design planning. Everyone deserves their dream kitchen, so you can have that IKEA as well. Closet planning. Anyone want a dream closet?
Oh, yeah.
IKEA's got that for you as well. This is the big one for me. The time. I don't like, that's the thing. There is a satisfaction out of assembling, but the time it takes to do so, I'd rather do other things. And that's why IKEA gives you options. I give you all these different things, and they give you options for your purchases. They have partnered with TaskRabbit so they can come help assemble as well. So get all your to-dos done. Whether it's delivery, kitchen and design planning, closet planning, or assembly, IKEA helps you do whatever you need in your life. Check them out, IKEA in Oak Creek. We wrap up the ESPN Wisconsin portion of Kyle Brust-Nortman next.
This is Kyle Brust-Nortman.
Is one of the things that your girlfriend gets upset with is you interrupting her like this?
Probably. I just complimented you. What the hell?
On ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app. You remember the moments from that magical March.
Side Decker. It's a 3. Got it!
On June 26th, celebrate the squad with Made 'em Believe, a special night with Bo Ryan, Frank Kaminsky, and Sam Decker.
Here's Kaminsky. The drop stab. That's his favorite. And the 2.
Presented by Bud Light, Michelob Ultra, Potosi Varsity Ale, and Potosi Hard Seltzer. Tickets are on sale now at UWHoops2015.com. Made 'em Believe, June 26th at the Orpheum Theater in Madison.
Rivals meet again when the Brewers battle the Cardinals June 12th through the 15th. Come for a duel between the Contreras brothers on the diamond and stay for one of the best weekends of summer. It's Tropical Day, Saturday, June 14th, featuring a Brewers straw hat with special tickets. Then take Dad to the Father's Day game for a Barrelman cooler giveaway on June 15th. It doesn't get any better than this. Get in on the action at Brewers.com.
Men's wedding bands made from whiskey barrels and meteorites.
Welcome to Kessler's.
It's party time at Cousins Subs. For a limited time only, Cousins 2-foot party subs are back. Choose from the club, ham and provolone, Italian special, or turkey. Each party sub is just $39.99. Feeds 5 to 8 people and requires 24-hour notice to order. And now you can complete your party by adding a party chip bag and a dozen chocolate chip cookies for just $4.99. Order today in store, online, or on the app. Cousins Subs. We believe in better.
Slide into your neighborhood Century Food store to score the freshest produce, tastiest treats, and everything in between. Now through Wednesday, save on 46 to 48 ounce selected varieties Blue Bunny Dairy Dessert, 2 for $7. 8.2 to 20 ounce selected varieties CPAC Seafood, $6.99. 7 to 15 ounce selected varieties Rana Pasta or Sauce, 2 for $7. 2 to 6 count selected varieties Northern Bath or Brawny Towels, $6.99.
Let's get some strawberries.
Attention shoppers. Safe.
Okay. Ooh, pineapple fulfills every need.
While you're shopping, a drive way back, it's a gunner.
There's something goofy going on with the PA.
Need a price check and I'll take me out to the ball game.
See, what is going on?
You're hearing things. We're at Century Foods, and you can't take your mind off winning that ultimate baseball fan sweepstakes.
I'm hoping to throw out the first pitch at a Milwaukee baseball game.
Or attend batting practice.
Or hold the finish line ribbon for the racing sausages.
You don't say.
The ultimate baseball fan sweepstakes at Century Foods. Enter on Century's Facebook or Instagram by July 30th.
Fisco is always there for your auto body care. When accidents happen, Fisco Auto Body on Forest Home in Franklin is there when you need them. Got a broken mirror? They'll take care of it. Dented bumper? Scratch paint? Fisco Auto Body will take care of it. If there's any damage you need fixed, Fisco has you covered. Their expert workmanship is guaranteed for the life of your vehicle. So stop in for all of your auto bumps and dings. Once again, you know the line. That's Fisco.
Good Karma Brands is proud to be an equal opportunity employer. Our policy is to provide equal opportunity employment, development, and advancement to all current and potential teammates. If you are an organization that maintains a job bank, provides employment information, or gives job referrals, you may request to be placed on the station's mailing list for future career opportunities. To learn more about careers at Good Karma Brands, please email careers@goodkarmabrands.com.
Right now, more than 100,000 children waiting in foster care need our help. The Dave Thomas Foundation for Adoption is focused on finding them safe, permanent homes. Learn more at davethomasfoundation.org.
You're listening to Kyle, Brust, and Nortman, KBN, on ESPN Wisconsin, ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube, and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
I know that Alex Strofe is excited for the Wheel of Strofe. Wheel of Strofe.
More push-ups.
Oh, that's going to be on there up to 13 now.
I'm sore of that. Jack Summer, you're going to be a stud.
Did you actually get sore from the push-ups you had to do yesterday?
Unfortunately.
Wow. That's probably the most push-ups he did in one.
49, yeah. That's the most I've done since like middle school gym class.
You didn't do 49 in middle school gym class. If you look like this, actually, I saw a picture of you in middle school. There's no way in the world. That break screen exposed you. Nothing but arms.
That's why I was a good hooper.
No.
Hooper.
I love it. I've never seen a
Benny, you weren't here last week.
What'd I miss?
Him lying about his career.
So,
I'd love your input
actually,
on this.
we should talk about this because we're going to figure this out. So, Mr. Beast, do you know who that is?
Yes, he's like the viral sensation guy, does challenges.
We spent 6 minutes trying to figure out with Brad who Mr. Beast is, and then Aaron Rodgers signed with the Steelers. So kind of derailed our show that day. So Mr. Beast opened up a challenge for $750,000 for anybody to make 100 3-point shots in 3 hours. I said I could do that in 90 minutes if I had a rebounder. If I had a rebounder,
100 3-point shots?
I think I could make 100 threes in 90 minutes.
You?
Me.
I don't.
Okay, well, the best part is,
Why
Benny,
are you hesitating? You know he can't.
the best part is, Benny, this Saturday morning, you're going to have to tell your fiance, soon-to-be wife, and your daughter, hey, I'm leaving for a little bit.
I just was on my bachelor party. I'm not leaving to go rebound for you.
You're not going to rebound. You're just going to join the live stream. We're going to do it this Saturday.
Agree to that?
No, Strofe just
because I
commandeer.
We talked about this on Friday.
Yeah, and
Where?
I didn't.
My apartment.
Yeah, I didn't agree. I have a very busy Saturday.
What are you doing at 9 a.m.?
I have things to do throughout that day. The last thing I want to do is...
Okay, here's where I can pull it off. Sometimes Strofe on a Saturday or Sunday, which I think I'm free this weekend, I'll play pickleball at these offices, and I can stick around after and watch you. I ain't doing 90 minutes, though.
I can do Sunday.
After Sunday Karma?
I can do it before Sunday.
I can do
Sunday.
before Father's Day.
Yeah.
Yeah, Father's Day. It's Father's Day weekend. I can't do it at all.
Why don't we do it after the show?
The last thing I plan on doing for my Father's Day is spending time with you.
You sun them all the time, though, don't you?
That seemed unnecessary. I don't know. I don't know why you said that.
The last thing is watching you shoot a basket.
There's a lot of things on that list.
Shoot a basket. Where does this
attempt at shooting?
But that seemed unnecessary. Can you apologize?
No.
Oh my gosh.
So you're the basketball expert. Is this? It's not possible, right?
For him.
I want to know why this is a challenge for others. 100 3-pointers from NBA distance in 90 minutes. Anybody could do that. Strofe can't.
Rebound.
Anybody but Strofe.
But hold on. Basketball is the one sport I actually played.
You keep saying actually.
Yeah, I didn't play other sports.
You said you played soccer, cross country.
Cross country I ran.
See, now you're a liar.
There has to be a basketball
I did play soccer, but it was a bit.
Yes, we've seen you on YouTube at ESPN Milwaukee do a fake pitch, and his right hip, Kyle, and his right leg did not move forward.
All right, this is going to be the summer of Strofe. I'm saying it right now. I'm going to hit 100 threes in like 84 minutes. I'm going to throw out a first pitch at a local baseball team's game. It's going to be a great summer for me.
How do you dribble the basketball? Show us on stream how you dribble the basketball.
Like Stanley from The Office.
Do you have a basketball in there? There used to be.
You used to have one.
Can I see? Yeah, and I probably saw you dribble it then, and you probably didn't look good.
Well, I'm way early.
And the way you shoot, I've seen him shoot.
You're a minute early, buddy. Summer of Strofe is getting started a little too early.
I got excited.
You got excited.
Someone explain to me why the challenge.
So it's 103 makes in 3 hours. You do not get a rebounder though.
So you're chasing your ball.
But I said if I had a rebounder, I could do it in 9 minutes. 100 makes.
Yeah.
No, he could not.
You're on my side for this.
He can't. His arms are going to be. He did 49 push-ups, and his arms are sore today. Can you imagine him shooting?
The basketball does not weigh 180 pounds.
I know, but why do I keep getting roped into think Strofe can do things?
Strofe thinks he can shoot 20%, so you have to hit attempt 500 shots.
No.
Throw threes.
It's 400 shots because I'm going to hit 25%.
Okay, fine.
I don't have a defender.
You thinking 400 shots, his arms won't get tired? Somebody who has probably shot 400.
From the NBA.
His legs are going to go?
You got to make how? So he's got to go 20%?
Yeah, 20%.
If he gets 400 off, how many is that per minute?
That's the problem.
I need the math, guys. I need the math before I make my education.
How exhausted your arms get?
There's a machine called the gun, and I've shot obviously 500 shots on it.
Mm-hmm. I did that in high school.
It would be
the more you talk, the less I believe in you.
4.4 shots per minute for 90 minutes. That's 400.
He can do that.
Get out.
We're back in 2 minutes.
Madison to Milwaukee, they tune in tight.
Yeah.
Good afternoon. Looks like westbound 94, we are going to be tightening up a bit from about 27th Street all the way to about Mitchell Boulevard. Northbound 43 slowing just before just before Mayfair Road all the way up to about Capitol Drive. Southbound is slowing down from Appleton Avenue down past Capitol. And then we still have this delay in the Hale interchange. Southbound 894 from Beloit Road down